things you get for being a patron, patreon.com/rttgunsgear. If you're a $10 patron, you get to help me decide what videos to make, and I will even grant requests. You have a far better chance of getting a requested video through Patreon than you ever will on just requesting in the comment section. And I had one of my patrons ask me about like an EDC truck get home type bag, not a bug out bag, not the sustainable bushcraft bag or fieldcraft bag, but something that maybe you carry in your truck, or I carry in my truck every day. That an emergency happens, you got to get home, day bag, whatever. Now my bag may be different from many other people's bags, and I'm sure depending on where you live and what you do with it, it will be for you as well. Mainly because this is also the bag that I use when I need extra hydration or extra food when I'm out in some of these trafficking areas or border areas, but I'm not going to be wearing body armor. And so this is the same bag that I use for that. So oftentimes this is loaded up with other things that may not be the EDC or get home type stuff that you may think of. But right now, this is a good representation. The way it's packed right now is a good representation of the way it is in my truck usually. So I'm going to go through it. I'm going to start at the very, very top here. This is the SOG Ninja backpack. I believe the SOG Ninja backpack to be the pound for pound best bag on the market. Meaning, for the money these cost, which I think are 30 bucks, I'll put an Amazon link down below, the first link. For the money that you pay for these bags, and the bag that you get for the money, I'm not saying they're the best bag period out there, but penny for penny, pound for dollar, best bag on the market. Absolutely. So let's get in here a little bit, down a little farther. Now, I do have a representation here of something that I carry in my truck, which is the Special Forces shovel from SOG. That is something that I keep in my truck. I also keep an axe in there as well. So starting from the top here, in the very top thing, I have a hat light. Okay, and this hat light is made by Browning. Has a green, like a low signature green, and a white light. Okay. Also in this top one, I have a pair of aviators, black aviator gloves. Let me pack those back in there. I don't want to put everything all over the place for this video. So this is going right back out in my truck. All right, front top pouch is 2 cat tourniquets, right? 2 cat tourniquets, ready to rock and roll. And I have one on my visor, and I have one too in my IFAC that I keep in my truck. So there's 2 here that I have in the bag at all times. On the side here, I have a glass breaker. Why do I have a glass breaker? Especially why do I have a glass breaker mounted on here that may be in the trunk or back seat, or someplace I can't get to it when I need it, like maybe in a rollover case. This is not for me to get out of the car, out of my truck. This is not for me to cut the seatbelt off of me. This is for me to get into somebody else's car. If shit has gone downhill that fast, I'm gonna get tired of finding rocks to put through windows to rummage through cars. This is for me to get into your parked car that you abandoned. And now I'm going to pillage it for everything it has. That's what this is for. Also, if I happen to run across a wreck and I need the seatbelt cutter, I may decide to do my good deed for the day. Now, this bag here would normally have a pair of binoculars in it. It's an add-on bag. It's just a Molly dump pouch basically. But I keep those binoculars in the door of my truck. You may have seen those binoculars in the last RTT range day when I was scouting that abandoned house. On this side, and if you watched my Las Vegas video, you know that I keep a radio in here. This is just a Baofeng UV5R. This one happens to have a Harris antenna on it. If something happens, if there's wrecks, if there's natural disasters, if there's anything of that sort, the ham guys will be on the horn about it. They don't have friends, that's why they're ham operators. They need somebody to talk to. So that will be out there. The information will be out there. You got a phone, you got a radio, which I have a radio in here I'll get to in a minute, but those also can pick up radio stations. And you have your handheld ham, you will not be out of the loop for information. I do have a 2-liter hydration pack in here that is full, and I keep it full. Generally, I might clean it out and refill it once every other month, something along those lines. Front pouch. Front pouch here, I have MRE spoon, which you're going to see why in a minute. I have a spare AR mag, not because I always have an AR with me, not because I always have an AK with me, not because whatever. I always have spare Glock mags with me, and somebody's bound to have an AR, and I'm betting that I can take it from them. Crank radio and light. Says radio, antenna, all that. So crank radio, the also solar powered. Basically like a Live Straw equivalent. Couple of Cliff Bars. Field notebook. A couple of writing utensils, Sharpie and pen. A little ball of paracord, and this has actually fishing stuff in it. I know I'm not going to be doing a lot of fishing, but at least the paracord's there. Some tinder and waterproof matches, and a solar lantern. You blow this thing up, it's like a pool toy type rubber, and it's solar powered lantern. It's bright enough for turn off that SOS. It's bright enough to light up like the cab, like if you're stuck in the cab of your truck or whatever, or if you have a little place that you're hunkering down. It's bright enough to light up that area. Now, the field notebook, the field book, and the writing utensils are important for a number of reasons. Number one, if you can keep your mind busy, especially in a natural disaster, if you can keep your mind busy, that's a great coping mechanism. Number two, you can, if you see something that you want to check out later, if you're on a longer term outing, so to speak, you can draw up your range cards with this. If you want to know what a range card is, go back to my videos. It wasn't a very popular video, but you can draw up your range cards in this, and you can keep inventory of your supplies more easily with this. Again, anytime you can write something down, you can keep your mind busy, is a good coping mechanism. Okay, main compartment here. Main compartment has toilet paper, a bottle of water. Now I do know I said that there's a bladder in here. I'll get to that in a minute. Bottle of water. Mountain House granola. Mountain House granola. Why granola? What about hot food and all that? This is not. This is 250 calories. 500 calories. 250 calories per serving, 2 servings per thing. 250 calories, 80 grams of fat. Oh, I'm sorry, 9 grams of fat. Calories from fat is 80. Sodium 65, carbs 37, sugars 16, protein 8. Number one, this doesn't take fire to make. Just like a Cliff Bar doesn't take fire to make, but a Cliff Bar does invoke thirst. I'm very thirsty after I eat Cliff Bars. This, you just take water, put a little water in it, let it sit for a minute, and you have like a granola oatmeal with milk and blueberries. This is one of my favorite Mountain House things to do. It's filling, it tastes really good, it's very lightweight, it's got about a quarter to half the calories you really need for the day. Add a couple Cliff Bars to it, you see where I'm going. It's lighter than an MRE, but you do need a spoon. That's where the MRE spoon comes from. Extra pair of socks and old bath towel. Old bath towel. Pillow, cover up with. Maybe it's cold. Wear as a shawl, or use as a blanket, depending on where you're at. Cover the ground to lay on. It's a layer of thick cloth. The uses are endless. And a spare sniper veil. I have a number of these that I keep in trucks and packs and things like that. These are awesome. They do supply a certain amount of shade. They do supply, of course, a certain amount of camouflage. You get them a little wet and the wind blows through them. Get them even just a little damp and the wind blows through them, and it's just like a swamp cooler. It's almost like air conditioning. These things are great. So there's that. And then, of course, the hydration pack is in there. A couple more things on the inside is in the very top thing, mesh bag here. I have a pair of rubber gloves, because you never know when you need rubber gloves. Blood, puke, spit, disease. I mean, you never know when you need a good pair of heavy metal rubber gloves and a roll of electrical tape. That is basically everything I have. This is not something I'm going to walk around town in, right? It's not going to be like a daily carry. A daily carry, like you see people that walk around with backpacks all day long because who knows what they keep in it, books or entertainment stuff, their laptop. That is for getting home, being out a day or so, and having the ability to stay relatively entertained, stay relatively fed, and relatively safe. I'm making a video here, dude. Yeah. Chuck says hi. He's not going with me. Now, you're asking blades, guns, things like that. I keep blades on me. I keep a pocket knife on me every day. I keep another flashlight on me every day. I keep fire. There's fire in there. I keep fire in my pocket. I keep fire in my truck. I keep spare mags in my truck. I have a gun on me, a pistol on me, pretty much at all times. If I'm out of the house, definitely. So a lot of that stuff is not in here because it's in there, in my truck or on me. Just like the IFAK I keep that's lashed to the back of my passenger seat. I can rip that IFAK off, quickly put it on here, and have a full IFAK. You see where I'm going with this. This is not to survive a rollover wreck. A lot of those things I just mentioned would be pointless in a really, really bad car wreck. Because they fly all over the vehicle, they fall out of the vehicle and things like that. This is, again, a get home or stay safe or stay alive until emergency services show up, or until you can acquire more things in another vehicle. So that's it. I hope my patron liked this. I hope it was informative. I hope all of you liked it. So again, patreon.com/rttgunsgear. You get to choose, you get to pick and choose, you get to tell me what you want to see at least once a month as a $10 patron. This month, Adam wanted to know about my get home bag, truck bag, EDC type bag. So there you go. We'll talk to you later. Thanks for watching.